Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, Saggies, let's take a look at who is remembering Sag, who's thinking about Sag right now, and kind of like how they have cups. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Six of Swords. It's interesting because they remember like fabulous moments where there was a lot of laughter, there was a lot of joy. It could have been like a group setting. They might have been vibing with Sag, and then it's like, and then the fun came to an end. But I wonder if Sag still thinks of me at all. This could have been somebody that Sag met like on a, some kind of vacation setting. This could have been someone that Sag met, when they were out and about with friends out on some party evening. It could have been like a brief, you know, opportunity for everybody to interact. And now they're like, it was so much fun. It was so great. Does Sag ever think of me? I mean, whatever this was, they think an awful lot about either, could I go back? Could I see Sag again? Could we recreate that? Could I write to Sag? They are on the fence, but mostly wondering, does Sag ever think of me? That seems to be the biggest thing. King of Swords in the reverse. They could be incredibly like unfairly telling themselves, I'm sure Sag doesn't remember me though. If they did, they would have reached out to me. This person could actually have like not maybe the greatest self-esteem. Maybe that's why we see them saying, I wonder if Sag thinks of me, but they probably don't. Let's go ahead and see. We got Ace of Pentacles sideways. We got the Sun sideways. They seem to think that they're very forgettable. They could be a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius that maybe isn't used to having like a really nice rapport with somebody, and then they experience that with Sag, and it was so exciting, it was so beautiful, and they're like, but you know what, I'm sure that nobody remembers me. Sag wouldn't remember me. Sag has probably gone on, had a whole new beginning, and they're really happy, but then there's still this part of them that hopes. I hope maybe you would remember me, and maybe you had a nice time with me too. Maybe I stood out in your memory, Sag, but they're too shy to reach out from what it looks like. This person is, I don't know, are you thinking at all about reaching out? We saw you, on that Two of Wands. Three of Pentacles. Mostly they would like to ideally recreate the group setting or the scenario all over again, because it feels like it was a situation where everything was just flowing. Maybe it was if we're out with friends and they're a friend of a friend, or it's just like a group setting of people going out, and then they meet, a few other people and chit-chatting, like everybody's taken a vacation or gone somewhere with a couple friends. And because it's kind of a party atmosphere, it's like the more the merrier. And pretty soon you're talking to total strangers, at the bar themselves or something. And pretty soon it's like, a group of 3 becomes a group of 7. And it just kind of like snowballs into a lot of people just kind of enjoying each other, having fun. It feels like they would like to recreate a group setting, because I keep thinking this person is pretty, they seem pretty shy, pretty much like they do not bold enough or brave enough to like ask Sag out on a one-on-one, or find a way to touch base with Sag. Or maybe they couldn't, maybe they'd have to go through like a group setting, especially if, let's say Sag met them at somebody's, a household gathering, and they literally may not know how to reach out to Sag. The only thing is, Sag might not know how to reach out to them either, and they may be aware of that. They may be saying, but I mean, I'm the only one who could maybe find me necessarily. Maybe I'm the one who is the extra guest that came along to the party because okay. YouTube's issue. I don't know which it is. Goodness gracious. We're having problems today. Okay. I just don't see them thinking that they can easily reconnect. Not from my perspective here. It looks like this is a tough situation for them to be able to, bond easily. We have the Eight of Swords upright. Eight of Swords, again, is like they're stuck in their head about this. We're going to go over to Sag in just a minute, but we just keep getting the same message again and again. They just wonder, I wonder if Sag would be bored with me if I did spend more time with them, but I don't even know how to do that, and probably they wouldn't like me that much. Let's go to Sag. Sag, how do you feel about this person? We have got the Ace of Swords in the reverse. Sag is like, well, I haven't stopped thinking about them. There's not been a severing of the connection. Queen of Pentacles sitting here, but admittedly, there's boundaries, there's barriers, low ones, but Sag is like, if I heard from them again, I'd love to talk to them, but I don't really know how to get over the boundary. Page of Cups, I kind of think Sag is wishing that this person would more or less magically show up. Here's the thing. We have boundaries all over the place, and they are kind of imagined. It's mostly, they would have to make the move to reconnect with Sag. Sag seems open to that. But with the Eight of Swords and that low little fence here, I keep thinking that boundary has to be gotten over, which is, how do I either get Saggy's number and reach out? How do I ask about, the friend of a friend of a friend through which I met Sag? How do I do this? Sag is still wishing that they would. Sag, do you have a way of contacting them, or is this all one-sided on their side? Knight of Swords. Things happened like seemingly too fast. Knight of Wands. Okay, so Sag is in a place where they're saying, look, I didn't get much time with that person. I don't know. Maybe they flirt with everybody. Maybe it wasn't much of a vibe. I don't know. It was so brief, and maybe I misread signals, or maybe they're just somebody where whatever persona I saw in them, whatever flicker of attraction I thought we had, maybe it was so fleeting for them. Okay, so right now what we have is two people thinking a lot about each other, both people wishing to actually have a chance to connect and see each other again, and both people kind of in the same headspace of, they probably don't remember me. Now, that's going to wreck what could be a good thing if they both keep telling themselves that, oh, I'm probably not that memorable. Got the Ace of Cups here. Sag may be somebody who's much more confident than they are, but Sag is like, I don't chase people around and try to give them my love, even if I kind of thought there could have been something. In fact, there was something about that person. I had a funny little inkling that should life go differently, I could see that could be somebody I could love. Sag may have had a premonition about this, and they may be more comfortable. I mean, Sag is definitely the more empowered person because they're a Queen of Pentacles, whereas this other person is the King of Swords in the reverse. So I'm going to say Sag has infinitely more like personal sense of security than this other person does. Okay, so let me ask this. We'll ask this of the universe. Universe, is there going to be a chance for these two to kind of reconnect? Well, we have a Ten of Swords sideways, we have the Sun upright, and we have the Eight of Cups upright. You know what's wild? Right now, the way things stand, no. Both of these people are going to let this go. They are going to, Sag might move on faster from this than they do. They're looking back over their shoulder, wondering if they missed out on something important. But it's like, for the time being, no, it's done and it's over. But let me ask this. Universe, I'm feeling a part 2 to this one. Is it that these two are not going to make a move because of the headspace that they're both in for the time being? But what about the future? Do we have anything in the future? We have got the Knight of Wands sideways. These two will probably bump into each other again. That's it. The energy of attraction and Six of Wands, maybe from across the street, across a room. Let me ask. And I don't know why I want to say 6 months later. 6 months later, Sag and this person will likely serendipitously bump into each other, be at the same place at the same time. They may see each other from across the way. Universe, are these two going to get a second chance? Are they going to gravitate toward each other? We have a Queen of Wands. We have the Five of Cups. That would be our Sag. Our Sag might be the one who's bold enough to walk right up to them and say, I was so sad I never heard from you. Sag might, because Queen of Wands are really like spicy and powerful, and and it could simply be like, it was so sad. I thought I would have liked to have seen you again or talked to you again, but apparently I guess you didn't want to talk to me. Sag might be playful, sassy, express their sorrow, even though I think it was real. I think Sag is like disappointed that they didn't hear from this person. This person didn't put in effort. But Sag could be the one who boldly says something. Six of Cups in the reverse, and Sag might be the one who also boldly is just like, but again, I guess maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I'm just that, I wasn't your cup of tea or something. Sag is going to be the one who approaches and says something. With that Magician sideways, this is their response. And their response might have been, funny, I was kind of thinking the same thing. I was wishing that maybe you had wanted to talk to me. I didn't quite know what to do here. Page of Pentacles, they're definitely going to be giving, maybe not as bold or swaggery, confident as Sag is, but they are definitely maybe timidly going to ask Sag, like, since we're here and maybe we get a second shot at this, do you want to sit down and talk to me? Hang on. We have the Star in the reverse. It could be disappointing still for Sag that this person is still coming across as very timid. The Tower, I don't know. It's one of two things. Either Sag is going to let this one go and just be like, or Sag is going to be like, well, it's not, they didn't match me like swagger for swagger, but maybe I just go ahead and, we meet people where they're at, because we have a Page of Cups. Sag might just go ahead and be like, okay, I'm talking to this person. It doesn't seem like they're somebody who really takes a powerful and confident lead. They certainly didn't match my energy of the Queen of Wands. They came on as a tentative magician and as a page. It's a little disappointing. It's not the way I would have expected or hoped a connection to kind of like have a new spark. But on the other hand, let me match them where they're at, since I do want to maybe talk to them. But let's just see. Let's downgrade this to page to page. That's pages are the little messengers of the deck. They're not confident yet. They're not even knights yet. They're just at the point of dialogue. And I think this is disappointing because I don't think that the King of Swords in the reverse has, the same level of gregariousness and self-confidence that Sag does at all. But you notice how Sag is like, I'll still talk to them though. You know what? Let me just see. Is there something here? Could these two maybe still either bring up the best of each other, or are these two going to have a second missed opportunity? Look, at some point they may be still very blown away, and they may actually say it like, man, you're really amazing. Sag, it sounds like you're so together. Your life is so incredible. This is them being very bummed out with that Four of Cups. Unfortunately, as they chit chat and talk to Sag in the future, they may be feeling still pretty small. Two of Pentacles and the King of Cups. I'm not saying it's Sag's job to prop anybody up, but Sag, just in the way they naturally are, might either catch wind of this as they are chit-chatting and saying, this person really admires me, but they're feeling like either they tend to make wrong turns, or they feel like their life hasn't gone quite according to the plan that they set out. They may be quite self-depreciating. They might be somebody who feels like, I went to school for this, but guess what? The career path that I learned and got into, the job disappeared right out from under my feet, probably because creeping freaking AI stole it. Sorry, I have a real issue with AI stuff. But I'm just making a side note commentary here. Um, that could totally be why they felt so like dreams dashed to the rocks and why they felt not very awesome. It feels like this is about work related stuff. Like Sag is doing a lot better than they are. They may be incredibly educated, but having a hard time, getting a career path, or something disappeared that they worked very hard for. The thing is, here's the beautiful part. I think Sag might quickly say something along the lines of, funny because you're one of the nicest people I've met. Seems like you have all the qualities of somebody that I'm looking for. I couldn't care less about careers that come and go. I tend to only like people that I think have a decent, like emotional response, and somebody that I can actually talk to. Boy, this is the nicest time I've had, and I can't remember how long. This could be exactly. I know this is a wobbly start to a connection, a missed opportunity, a second chance. It's still kind of wobbly. And they are the ones who keep kind of feeling like God, I'm just nowhere near the amazingness of Sag. But it's Sag who like is reeling them back in and kind of giving them a very heartfelt compliment, because I think Sag likes what this person brings to the table. Look, this could breathe new life into the potential for this. I don't think this has ever been about this character being like apathetic or, like, oh, they're so scared, they're so timid. It's just, it is very understandable. I think it's not even like, oh, they need to get their confidence up. It's more along the lines of, this is somebody who their life maybe isn't everything that they had planned on it being. Nobody's life is ever what we all plan on it being, right? Life is lots of ups and downs and lots of struggles, but we all still have worth and value. And Sag sees the worth and value in this person. And in a way that maybe they were devaluing themselves, and Sag is doing the exact opposite. It's like, funny, because I am actually really enjoying your company. I sounds like you have a lot more going for you than you seem to recognize. Not sure why you're so intent on judging, a career or something based off of whether or not you have a ton to offer. Maybe Sag needs to speak some, truth bombs to them, because that changes everything. This gives the two of them a chance now to be on equal footing. I kind of think this storyline could be like a really beautiful one. Let me get last card here. Two of Swords. Um, Look, I don't think Sag wants to be anybody's like perpetual cheerleader, but sometimes people don't see what we see in them, and vice versa. Sag might not have seen themselves in such a beautiful light the way they see Sag. And maybe that's going to be where it's like a two-way street. Sometimes we can't see ourselves the way other people see us. And that is one of the beautiful things when two people like each other, there's this vibe, there's this appreciation. Maybe these two are going to be great together because they could do a world of good for each other, and letting the other one say, this is how I see you. I mean, what a huge shot of self-esteem to have somebody say, I look at you like this. And it's like, well, I look at you like this. I think these two could be great together, honestly. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing.